Parties have conferred and have a partial agreement on most issues. The parties have agreed that there will be a mutual non-disclosure and communications will be done by app close. That the parties will be appointed as joint managing conservators with Miss Zoe Lockett, formerly known as Marone, being appointed as the primary conservator with the exclusive right to designate the residence of the child, as well as the exclusive right to consent to invasive medical procedures and all educational decisions. Parties have further agreed to Mr. Kubinski's graduated access and possession schedule would include phase-ins for first, third, and that he would have the option to do first, third, and fifth, but at a minimum would have to complete 3 weekend visits over a 2-month time span with access and possession beginning on Saturday at noon until 4 p.m. That's the same day, as well as Sundays from 12 p.m. until 4 p.m. noon. After those 3 full weekend access and possessions have been done, phase 2 will include access and possession beginning at noon on Saturday until the following Sunday at noon. That will also consist of 3 weekend visits during the course of a 2-month period, but can also occur on first, third, or fifth. Phase 3 of the access and possession would be on 3 weekends within this phase, beginning at 6 p.m. on Friday and ending at 6 p.m. on Sunday. He would need to do that for 3 weekends before going to the final phase, phase 4, which would be the standard possession order for children who reside, for parents who reside more than 50 miles apart. The parties will also have a standard possession order when it comes to summer break, but that would be in effect for next summer, so summer of 2026. Parties have agreed that child support will be set in the amount of $238 beginning April 1st, 2025. That Miss Lockett will be responsible for enrolling the child in health insurance available to her through another source, her husband's TRICARE. There would be a cash medical of $0 beginning April 1st, 2025, but a cash dental support in the amount of $6.92, also beginning April 1st.
I'm sorry, $6.92.
$6.92. Yes, Judge. There will be an agreed provision for electronic communication for the parent not in possession of the child on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays at 7 o'clock based on the child's time zone, and standard mutual injunctions, as well as alcohol and drug injunction for 24 hours. The remaining issues for the court's determination, I believe, remain retroactive child support, as well as geographic restriction and long distance travel expenses. State calls Daniel Darling.
Yes.
Mr. Darling, did you hear and understand the agreement that I read into the record?
Yes, ma'am.
And is that your agreement?
I agree with the majority of it. Just the long distance is one of my primary issues at the moment.
Mr. Darling, remember, you got to listen to my question, answer the question. The portions that I told the court were agreed, which did not include the retroactive support, geographic restriction, or long distance travel.
Okay.
All the other terms I told the court were agreed. Are those your agreements?
Yes, ma'am.
And you believe that those agreements would be in the best interest of your child?
Yes, ma'am.
And you want the court to make those the orders of the court today?
Yes, ma'am.
Now let's talk about retroactive child support first. I believe Mr. Kupinski's client will be requesting retroactive child support from January of this year through March 31st. Did you provide mom any direct payments for this child at any time in January, February, or March of this year?
No, ma'am.
Are you asking that there not be any sort of retroactive child support judgment taken against you?
No, ma'am.
No, you're not requesting a retroactive child support, or you're requesting that no retroactive child support judgment be taken?
That I'll do it for the 3 month. You said the 3 months, right? I'll do it.
So you're now in agreement for a retroactive child support judgment in the amount of $717?
Oh God, no. Sorry, my apologies. No.
Okay, so you're asking the court not to order a retroactive child support judgment, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And why is that?
Sorry, I'm really. No, I guess I'll do it, ma'am. It's just if they could do it in payments, if possible.
And we'll discuss payment plans. But you are now in agreement to a retroactive child support judgment of $717. Is that a yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And would you be able to pay that judgment back at $25 per month?
Yes, ma'am.
In addition to your current child support and dental support obligations?
Yes, ma'am.
Now let's talk about geographic restrictions and travel. Are you requesting that the court impose any sort of geographic restriction on the child's residence?
I don't want him to leave the state.
And why is that?
Because it'll be more difficult for me to do those phases. Well, just to be able to have my visitation with him, it'd be a little more difficult for me.
And have you been a part of the child's life?
Absolutely.
And has that been since birth?
Since birth since last year on March 19th was the last time I was with him. So for the whole year, it's a little bit more than a year, I have not been present in his life.
So there hasn't been any communication or access possession in the past at least 12 months?
Yes.
Now, Mr. Kubinski had proposed a sharing of travel expenses for summer, Thanksgiving, and Christmas breaks. Are you asking the court to deny that request?
Well, I would love for her to pay it all, if not at least half of it with me.
Okay, so you are asking that mom pay for all of the expenses for you to exercise those long
Yes.
visitations?
Yes, because it's gonna be very difficult for me.
What about for the regular weekend visitations?
For the weekends,
Yes, sir.
I could pick him up. I have a reliable vehicle, and yeah, I'll be able to pick him up on the weekends when he's here.
What about if and when the child no longer lives within 100 miles of you?
That's my issue right now. So I just ask that he doesn't leave ma'am, because it's gonna be difficult.
And that will be up to the judge to decide.
Yes, ma'am.
But in the event that the child does leave,
If he happens to leave, yeah, I guess I would ask if she can please help me out with the expenses to be able to see him.
is there anything else you want to make sure the judge is aware of with regards to the geographic restriction, the travel?
No, ma'am.
And once the court makes a ruling here, we'll draft an order that reflects the rulings. Are you okay if we submit that order directly to the court without you first having to review and sign off?
Excuse me, can you repeat that one more time? Cut out.
Once the judge makes her decision today, we'll draft an order that reflects that ruling. Are you okay if we submit that order directly to the court without you first needing to review and sign off on it?
No, I would love to review it before I sign off on it.
Pass the witness.
Mr. Kabinski.
Yes. Now, Mr. Darling, you stated before that you have not supported this child since January of 2025, correct?
Yes. Well, since last year, yes. And then from this year, no. I have not been able to support him.
Okay. And the incident that happened on March 19th of 2024, what happened?
So prior to that, sir, it was fine. She would call me, we were communicating, doing visitations. She would leave him with me, it was all fine until March 19th. I wasn't aware that she was taking him out of state for like, a little visit. We got in a little argument, a little disagreement on that, on that. And ever since that day, that was the last time his birthday was in a couple days of March 23rd. And I haven't seen him since then. She just completely cut all communications with me, her and her family as well.
Okay. And you accused her of running you over with a vehicle. Is that correct?
Excuse me?
You accused her of running you over with a vehicle. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you were actually arrested for making a false statement. Is that correct?
I plead the fifth.
Okay. Were you arrested regarding that incident?
I plead the fifth.
Okay. And are you currently, do you have current pending criminal charges regarding that incident?
No, sir. I finished it. I did everything they said. I did all my payments and everything. I finished everything. No probation, no nothing.
Okay. And you have previously threatened to take the child to Mexico. Is that correct?
No, sir.
You have never threatened my client with taking the child to Mexico and not letting her see the child again?
Absolutely not, sir.
Okay. And are you gang affiliated, sir?
No, sir.
You're not a member of the 6th Street gang?
No, sir.
Okay. Do you have a car?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What car do you drive?
A Cadillac. 1997 Cadillac.
Did you previously own a Honda Civic?
I've owned multiple, yes, but previously, no. Prior to that, I had a truck.
You did own a Honda Civic? I apologize.
Yes, a long time ago.
Okay. What happened to that vehicle?
I was involved in a car accident.
Okay. And that point, your car was shot at. Was that correct?
No, sir.
Your car was never shot at?
I have pictures of my car and there's no bullet holes. There's nothing.
Okay. Were you shot at?
No, no, sir.
Okay. Have you ever been shot at?
No, sir.
You're stating on the record that you've never been shot at.
No, sir.
Isn't it true that you were shot at with your son in your vehicle?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Okay. And what steps have you taken to try to see your child since March?
So I have attempted to contact Ms. Morin multiple times. She just completely cut ties with me. So I would speak to her mother, her adopted mother. She was the only one that would, still talk to me and let me talk to my son here and there. But that was only like 2 times. And that was through the phone for like a minute or two. And then she literally just completely went dark and cut me off.
Okay. You've been charged with terroristic threat and an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Is that correct?
I plead the fifth. And I plead the fifth. That was a long time ago, sir.
Okay. And that was in 2017, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That incident it doesn't seem, never mind. Not as bad as it sounds.
Okay. You want to explain what happened at that incident?
I was just at the wrong, my friend, I didn't do nothing. My friend did it. He didn't do nothing. No one was harmed. There was no weapons. I had no weapon on me when the incident happened. My friend just had a little BB gun on him, and they just got me with the same charges as him because I was with him, but I did nothing.
Okay. Isn't it true that how many children do you have?
I have my son, Charles Julian Lee Darling.
Okay. And you've had communications with my client's husband before, correct?
Very few. We have communicated
Okay. And those communications have gotten hostile, haven't they?
No, we did have arguments. He's just very immature. I would ask, I have messages and the proof of me telling him to please let me talk to Zoe or my son. I don't want to talk to him, and that's about it. He just interferes and tries to say, "Oh, I'm married. That's my girl," and then he's very immature. I have messages of him being very mature, and I'm asking politely, may I speak to my son, and he just no, give me $300-400 and I'll allow it, and he just no.
You've threatened him before, haven't you?
Judge, I'm
Mm,
gonna object. This was for a while had to do with any possible retroactive judgment, but it is agreed, and I'm not sure the relevance currently since we have an agreement now on retro.
Our position, Judge, is regarding the geographic restriction.
I'll allow it.
Okay. And so you've threatened him before, right, Mr. Darling?
no, sir.
And isn't it true that you threatened to have his daughter raped?
No.
I pass the witness.
Okay. Ms. Bright,
State calls Ms. Lockett.
go ahead.
And ma'am, can you state your full current legal name?
Yes, ma'am. My current legal name is Zoe Janelle Lockett.
And you, before you got married, your last name was Moron?
Morin. Yes, ma'am.
Morin. Okay. And I know it's been a little bit, but did you hear and understand the agreement that I read into the record?
Yes, ma'am.
And are those portions that I read into the record and noted for the court were our agreements? Are those your agreements?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you believe that those would be in the best interest of your child,
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
including a retroactive child support judgment for $717?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you in agreement that Mr. Darling pay that back at $25 per month?
Yes, ma'am.
And you've heard Mr. Darling request of the court that a geographic restriction be imposed. Are you opposed to the judge ordering any sort of geographic restriction?
I would prefer that there is no geographical restriction.
And why is that?
My husband is in the Army and he already did his time here, and we got orders to move to Kansas, Missouri, and I don't want to be separated from my husband.
When do those orders require him to report?
It's in August. We don't have an exact date yet, though.
But August of this year, 2025?
Yes, ma'am.
And with regard to the travel expenses, are you asking the court to order that you and Mr. Darling share travel expenses for only the summer, Thanksgiving, and Christmas breaks?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Darling has requested that you share or that you pay all expenses for all access and possession after you, if you're allowed to relocate with the child more than 100 miles apart. Are you opposed to that?
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm sure your attorney is going to cover a lot more with you. So I will pass the witness at this time.
Mr. Kibitsky.
Okay. This is Lockett. What issues have you had with the father?
I try to be cordial with him. He just, once he doesn't get his way, he likes to say things. It has been physical at times where he has gotten physical with me while I was holding my son, both him and his mom. There was a police report made on that, but because it was 2 against 1, the cops said that there was nothing that they could do.
Okay. How many times has he been physical with you?
It's been maybe twice.
Okay. And you heard his testimony that he's never been shot at before, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What happened?
From what I was told is that he was driving down Railroad and his car was shot at, which led to him like hitting the side.
What vehicle was that?
I believe it was the Honda Civic.
Okay. And who was in possession of your son at that time?
He was.
Okay. How did you come up with this information?
His mom told me.
Okay. And is Mr. Darling gang affiliated?
Yes, sir, he is.
Okay. What gang is he part of?
6th Street.
Okay. And do you know why his car was shot up?
He has a lot of enemies. I mean, I don't know what else to say besides that.
Okay. And Mr. Darling has threatened to take your son to Mexico before, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. When did he say this?
He said it multiple times, even before all this child support. I was thinking of putting him on child support, and he told me if I did that, he would take my son to Mexico.
Okay. And you're asking for an exchange, a mutual exchange point. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you're asking for it to be at a police station. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And when you moved to Kansas, Missouri, are you asking for the exchange point to be at the airport?
We can do it at the airport or at a police station.
Okay. And you believe everything that you're asking for is in the best interest of the child?
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
And Mr. Darling stated that he's contacted you since March regarding seeing the child, correct?
Yes, sir.
Is that accurate?
Last year was the last time he, like he said, I did cut him off completely. So I haven't talked to him or anything like that.
Why did you cut him off?
Because, like I said, when he doesn't get his way, he likes to talk a lot of, he likes to threaten a lot.
Okay. And did you provide text messages between you and his mother?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And they've been labeled Exhibit P3?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Your Honor, at this time, we move to admit Exhibit P3 into evidence.
Ms. Sprague?
The state has no objection to these.
Okay, Mr. Darling, do you have an objection?
I just would like to say, I know I
Hold
said
on.
it.
I have an objection. He's offering some text messages. And Iris, do we have them? Do we have the exhibits?
Yes, Judge, they should be in the court's email.
Okay. So, Mr. Darling, do you have a legal objection for these documents?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so I will go ahead and admit P3.
Your Honor, may I share my screen to display P3?
Sir.
Now, this conversation is between you and Susie Darling, correct?
Yes, sir.
And who is Susie Darling?
That is his mom.
Okay. And then you guys are having a conversation, and then she says, yeah, he already threatened to fuck me up, correct?
Yes, sir.
Who are you guys referring to?
Daniel Darling.
Okay. And then later, she says, I'm going to be on the streets or dead because of Daniel. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What were you guys talking about?
Because Daniel, since Charles was born, even before that, he had a big issue with drinking and driving. He would just get really drunk and just drive.
Okay. And did you provide a video of Mr. Darling?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that's been labeled Exhibit P2, right?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, we move to admit Exhibit P2 into evidence.
Any objections?
Just renew the relevance objection, Judge.
Relevance, Mr. Kaminsky?
Your Honor, we believe it's to the geographic restriction and that he's endangered this child, Your Honor.
And Judge, I'm of course not speaking for Mr. Darling, but I don't know that he's been given these.
Mr. Darling, have you seen the exhibits that he's referring to?
Yes, I'm aware. I just saw that. The messages between her and my mother.
And and you've also seen P2?
Negative.
Okay. Mr. Kaminsky, if you can please provide Mr. Darling the exhibit for his review.
Yes,
And
Your Honor.
I can't find the exhibits. Can you direct me where the exhibits are at? Oh, Mr. Stein sent it. Okay.
I need Mr. Darling's email to send those over.
And Judge, there is a mutual non-disclosure pending.
How would I be able to send you guys? I'm sorry to interrupt. How would I be able to send you guys screenshots like that as well? Because I don't have a lawyer to represent me. I didn't know any emails I can forward you guys proof like that because I have a lot. And all those are all pure allegations. They're not true. I have so much proof in a way.
Well, with regards to P2, I'm going to go ahead and deny that request. Let's move forward. The issues are retroactive child support, geographic restriction, and the long distance travel, if any.
Okay. You've seen Mr. Darling holding guns before, correct?
Yes, sir.
And dancing in videos, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what was the point of these videos?
So he could look cool, I assume.
Okay. All right.
Trying to make me look really bad, man.
Okay. I passed the witness.
Mr. Darling, do you have any questions of Ms. Morin?
I don't have questions. It's just, I do
Hold
have
on
a
one
question.
second. Mr. Darling, I will give you an opportunity to make a statement. Trust me, I will give you that opportunity. Ms.
Thank
Sprague.
you. Thank you so much.
Mr. Darling, you heard Mr. Kubinski and Ms. Lockett ask for a mutual exchange location. While everyone resides here in El Paso, are you okay with that exchange occurring at a police department?
No, absolutely. Yes. It's even better if anything.
And if the court were to deny the geographic restriction, are you okay with it continuing to be a police department in the county of the child's residence or the airport?
Yes, ma'am.
Pass the witness.
Mr. Kubinski, any follow-up questions?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Sprague.
State rest and close.
Okay, do you have any witnesses, Mr. Kubinski?
No, Your Honor.
Before we hear any closing remarks, I would like to give Mr. Darling an opportunity to provide any statements that he would like to provide the court. Mr. Darling.
Yes, ma'am. So
the remaining issues is retroactive child support, although I think we've agreed on that. And then geographic restriction and then the long distance travel.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything you would like to address the court regarding those issues?
I just asked you, please don't let my baby go too far from me because it's going to be difficult for me to be able to see him. And I just want to be in his life as much as possible. I mean no harm to him. Look, I'm shaking right now. I'm sorry. She's trying really hard to make an image of me very evil or a bad person, and she knows I'm not. That incident where she brought up all those incidents where my Honda Civic being shot at, there was no bullets. The cops took my car. Cops showed up right away. Nothing. They just took me home. They took my car. No bullet shells were found. Nothing. The incident where I said that she ran me over. I had possession of him, and I was being nice to her, letting her visit him. And as soon as I got out of the car of Peter Piper, she just hit me with a car and took off. And she drove with me on top of the vehicle for a long period of time. I asked and begged her to stop, and she didn't. She's driving over 50 miles an hour with me on the vehicle, my son in the car, running stop signs. And I have those messages with my mom. That's just conversations that are false. The 6th Street, that's just no. I just hope you guys don't see me as a bad person. How she put me out as, because I'm not. I miss my baby so much.
Mr. Darling, I do have a quick question. You indicated that you were comfortable with an exchange being at a police department. What police department or what station would be convenient here in El Paso County?
The one right here in Dyer.
What's the cross street?
I think Threadgill and Dyer.
Okay, Ms. Sprague, were you able to locate that?
I had located one on Campbell, Judge. Give me just a moment.
So now I'm going to hear closing remarks. Ms. Sprague, are you ready to go, or do you want Mr. Kaminsky to go first?
I can go, Judge. There are several Dyer Police Department addresses, but I assume the one on Hart is the one he was referring to.
Okay.
Maybe not. Well,
I'm sorry.
Your Honor, the state is going to request that the court first and foremost approve the agreement as read into the record, and including in that the a retroactive child support judgment of $717 to be paid back at $25 per month. The state would ask that the court make any orders as the court deems appropriate concerning geographic restriction and travel expenses as the court deems appropriate for the parties and the child before the course. And the police department station on Dyer is 9600 Dyer Street.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Kaminsky.
Yes, Your Honor. We're asking that no geographic restriction be put in place. The issues have been presented before the court, Your Honor, and we've shown through Mr. Darling's actions he hasn't been involved in this child's life because of his actions. And as such, we'd ask that my client not have a geographic restriction and remain her family intact for them to go to Kansas, Missouri, where her husband is PCS to go. We're also asking that the parties split the travel expenses. We believe it's only fair. Judge, we understand that long distance is a hard burden on both parties, and we're asking that the parties share it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And Mr. Darling, any last remarks, sir?
I just want to see my baby.
Okay, thank you. And Ms. Sprague, with the state, last words, if any?
None, Judge.
Based on the testimony and evidence before this court, I will approve and confirm the agreement as it was recited on the record here today. We are adjudicating the parent-child relationship. Both parents will be joint managing conservators with mom as primary, and with the phased in access and possession. Also regarding the child support, medical support, and dental support, I believe all of those were addressed and agreed upon, as well as the mutual non-disclosure. With regards to the remaining issue, this court will grant a retroactive child support in the amount of $717 and order that Mr. Darling pay off that judgment at a rate of $25 per month to begin May 1st of 2025. I will impose a geographic restriction to El Paso County and its contiguous counties. And there will be no orders regarding the travel expenses. Entry for this order will be, do you need this Friday or do you need next week?
I can do it this Friday, Judge.
Okay, this Friday by noon. If we need to extend it, we can. Unless there's anything else that will complete the hearing.
I apologize, Judge. Court costs can they be waived?
I'm gonna waive the court costs today. That will complete the, thank you.